Right now, somewhere in Africa, an elephant is standing over a body. She hasn't moved in 3 days. Body is her calf. And if you've seen the footage, really watched it, you know there's a moment where the clinical part of your brain just stops working. Because it doesn't look like confusion. It doesn't look like instinct. It looks like something you recognize. We tell ourselves it isn't. Animals live in the present. They don't understand death. They can't. That's been the consensus for over a century. Comfortable, tidy. And science is quietly taking it apart, one study at a time. Before we go further, there's an experiment involving ravens I'm going to come back to near the end of this video. Flagging it now because once I tell you what it implies, the question we started with stops being about animals entirely. Keep that in mind. Know that you will die, you need to clear 4 cognitive hurdles. Death is universal, it's irreversible, it's coming for you specifically. When it arrives, experience ends. That's the checklist. For most of the 20th century, scientists assumed only humans could clear it. Then they started actually watching other species instead of theorizing about them. Chimpanzees. A 2011 paper in Current Biology documented mothers in Zambia carrying the mummified bodies of their dead infants for up to 79 days, grooming them, chasing flies away, coming back to them after foraging like returning to something left on a table. The instinct explanation starts to buckle here, because the older the mother, the shorter the carrying period. First-time mothers held on longest. Mothers who had seen death before let go sooner. It's not a reflex, that's a mind updating itself. Grieving something lost and knowing you will be lost, those are different operations entirely. Here's where the research gets harder to dismiss. Studies on wild primates document what happens in the hours after a predator kills a group member nearby. The predator leaves, the immediate threat is gone, and yet the animals change. Tighter clustering, reduced movement, longer silences. For days afterward, they aren't reacting to danger, they're sitting with what danger produced. They're processing an absence. And somewhere in that processing, researchers argue, is something that looks less like fear and more like reckoning. Fear is about now. Reckoning is about what comes next. That distinction is the entire ballgame. And then there are crows. When a crow dies, other crows don't scatter. They gather. They call loudly, approach the body, investigate it, then void that location. Measurably, for days. Haley Swift's 2015 research at UC Davis found this behavior made surviving crows significantly more alert to new threats in the area. They were reading a body like a warning, extracting information from a death, filing it somewhere. Now, this is the point where most videos let you coast toward a conclusion the evidence doesn't quite earn. So let's be honest about the gap. Knowing death happens to others, knowing it will happen to you. Not the same thing. The first is pattern recognition. The second requires what psychologists call mental time travel. Projecting yourself into a future that doesn't exist yet, including a future where you don't exist at all. We can't directly test for that in another species. We have no instrument for it. But here's what stops me cold. We can't directly test for it in another human either. We observe behavior consistent with mortality awareness. We watch how the knowledge reshapes a life. That is the only methodology we have and for anyone. By that methodology, the case for certain animals is not nothing. Which brings us back to the ravens. In a series of experiments, ravens were given a choice between a guaranteed small reward now and a larger one later. But only if they correctly anticipated what a competitor would do in a scenario that hadn't happened yet. They had to simulate a future, hold it in mind, make a decision inside it. They did this, reliably. Here's the thing about that. Simulating a future where you make choices and simulating a future where you no longer exist require the exact same cognitive architecture. The ravens demonstrably have that architecture. Whether they've ever pointed it in that direction, you can't say. But the machinery is there. It's running. So maybe the question isn't, do animals know they will die? Maybe the question is, what are we actually asking when we ask that? Because every decade we move the line. Tool use, language, motion, planning. Each time, the gap between us and them turned out to be narrower than we needed it to be. Mortality awareness may be next. There's an elephant standing over her calf. She'll stay one more day. Then she'll leave. As she goes, she'll stop. Turn back. Touch the body one last time with the tip of her trunk. You can call that instinct. You can call it whatever keeps the distance comfortable. Or you can sit with the possibility that she knows exactly what she's walking away from, and that somewhere in whatever passes for her understanding of the world, she knows her turn is coming too. The only thing we can say for certain is that we don't know she doesn't.